hosting the East High Blades Spartans at 5-1. Blades at 1-5. This is a Mountain League contest. I am Kenny Calvin, and I am joined with my coach, the legendary Rick Van Horn. This is our first call of the year. Coach, what you expecting tonight?
Well, expecting a good game. I'm hoping for a good game. South High, very tough this year. They're up to their best start in 6 years at 5-1. East High's been stumbling a little bit, 1-5. So we're just hoping that East High can show up and give them a game.
Yeah, and we talked about the struggles of East High. You know, we have to go all the way back to your years after you transitioned from Bakersfield High and went over to East High and established a winning football culture for the first time in a while after Longsinger. Longsinger had some great teams with Brady Batten and, Antoine Alexander. They had some amazing offenses back then.
They sure did.
You know, we think about those teams. We think about your championship winning teams. We've had some small successes since those decades have passed.
Well, 2004, they won the a Valley Championship, and that was when one of the first years they started doing divisions. But 2004, they won the Valley Championship with the King brothers and Coach Maples and Philip Campus might have been on that team.
Yep.
So,
rest in peace to little
yeah.
bro. You know, so as we prepare for the national anthem, it is the South High Spartan homecoming. They got a Hall of Fame coming up. I just saw my big cousin Clayton Madden, T-Con Madden, walking in, star-studded sideline and stands right now. Big Brian Bundy Mundy, South High legend on the hoop court is down there. There's a lot of history in this South High building. It's a beautiful stadium too, Coach.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And what's the over-under on how many times we still call them Rebels?
Right. Hey, you see I've been very strategic in making sure I call them the Spartans.
When we get excited, the Rebels may come out.
Definitely. Especially as we talk about the history of some of the amazing players that South High has had.
I heard of Mark McGill named called out, and he was a heck of a player. Went to UCLA, former South High quarterback.
Wow.
I think we got the national anthem coming.
All right, you know what time it is once that national anthem is done. Shout out to the South High Band. This is one of the most beautiful bands we've seen from a presentation standpoint.
Sure is, and they're – holy cow.
Oh, and they're putting on the show now. See, we just pumped them up.
That's right.
This is the best pregame from a band that we've had all season.
Yes, it is.
And here come the Spartans. They looking good, man. I'm telling you. I have a lot of love for South High because, some of my big bros were South High Rebels. The late, great Casey Walker and, Troy Ochoa. We had some battles with those guys, so I'm always rooting for them. This has been an amazing season for them, Coach.
Yes, it has. I think this is the first year of the stadium, and it's a great way to break this thing in, going 5-1 so far. The one loss was to Independence.
Tough loss.
And that was here or at Independence?
I can't remember whether that was on the road. I didn't get to call that one, but it was an 18-6 game. I've covered Independence a couple times. They got a great defense over there. Their offense is still coming around, a lot of young players. But for South to have that kind of battle with them, I can understand how they had a tough night because Independence's defense played very well against Centennial that night I did that game.
Yeah.
And Centennial got away with one after some late turnovers.
Yeah. You know, South High, although they're 5-1, they're in Division III for the playoffs. Right now, in the rankings in that Division III, even with a 5-1 record, they're still sitting down at number 15 in the D3 rankings. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's pretty standard for a team that hasn't had great years previously, and people are waiting on them to prove themselves a little more. So you get another win here, going to 6-1. That helps you climb the rankings a little bit.
Yeah, you know, and they're looking that last game, Game 10, could be for the league championship against a tough Tehachapi team from the hills up there.
Yeah, Coach, I watched Tehachapi last year versus the Drillers. That was a tough football team. It reminded me of an old 1980s battle where you got a school from the small town coming out the mountain, but all of them playing on the same accord.
Yeah, and was that the game that Tehachapi, I think, got them, didn't they?
Yeah. Tehachapi beat the Drillers that game last year, which was it was a very tough contest. Drillers are a totally different team this year. We'll talk about that game they had last night. But right now we have the coin toss. Out for South High captains, you got number 1, Jyrell Hazley. Number 3, Josh Encinas. Number 4, Antoine Jones. And number 62, the big fella, Nathaniel Ramos. We'll get those East High captains. It's been a tough sledding for the East High Blaze this year, but they always have an opportunity to play above their record when it comes to these rivalry games.
Yeah, and this is definitely a rivalry game going all the way back to the 60s. Probably back to the 50s because I think South High opened up in the 50s.
Wow. Great history. That's why I love having my coach in the booth with me. Y'all think I know the business. He the reason why I know the business and is the business.
These teams have met every year since 2019, and South High has won the last 4. East High's last win in this series was 2019.
You know, true crosstown rivalry. You know, they definitely no love lost. You know, South High has some amazing weapons. You know, in recent years they have had kids like Lomax and, you know, other players that show out. This year, Jyrell Hazley has been putting on a show.
Well, I tell you what, they've got probably the one, if not the best, 1-2 combination with Jyrell Hazley and their quarterback, Encinas.
Yeah, he's put on a show. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So the Blades will come out and be on offense first. South High's kicking off. We want to thank our team at Kern High School District, especially South High School, for hosting us. Our boss, Stan Green, the Director of School Support Services. Our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union. And the rest of you guys for tuning in. It's going to be an amazing night. I'm expecting the Blades to play tougher than their record has determined this year.
Yeah, this is a neighborhood game. Pride is on the line, reputations. I'm interested to see who East High starts at quarterback. Levi Delgado or let's see what they're doing here. Where's Santiago? Santiago was a starter beginning of the season, got hurt, missed about a game and a half, maybe 2 games.
All right, kick is up. That's a squib, and that's going to hit the ground and go out of bounds. So we'll have a penalty. First kick by J.J. Flores goes out of bounds, and we'll see what the Eastside Blaze can do. 1st and 10, heading south.
Looks like the Blades are going with number 16, Levi Delgado, at quarterback. They've got the lead rusher in the Mountain League, Randy Lenore. Keep an eye on him.
Oh, yeah. I have seen Lenore make some big plays. They're going to come out in the shotgun double set, Coach.
There we go. And Lenore is a load to bring down.
Blades come out passing, and the first one is complete. Nice quick out. Goes for 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
East has made a living running the ball this year, only throwing the ball 52 times.
And you got to wonder, usually when you're behind on the scoreboard, you're putting it up because you have to. You have to wonder if that's going to
hurt them down the line in a tough game where you're going to have to throw the ball.
Shotgun spread set.
Lenore.
Wow, and I see that power right away, Coach. You said it. Like we said, he always got his crystal ball out, and that's a nice 6-yard run. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1, Coach. Well, 3rd and about 3.
Good manageable situation for East. You know, when you're 1-5, you really want to come out fast. You want to score early. Gives your team so much more momentum. And
shotgun spread set.
I think he got it.
So they go with the power to the right-hand side, and that is going to be a 1st down for the Blades, and that's a huge confidence builder when you can get that running game going.
That's right. Lenore is the leading rusher in the Mountain League with 541 yards. At that pace, you know, he may go over 1,000 this year.
Man, and talk about some amazing running backs in the East High Blade history book. You know, you got guys like one of my favorite players I ever coached that just went into the Hall of Fame, Leandre Matthews.
Yeah.
He was a beast. My little cousin, Andre Smith.
And both of them are kind of built like Lenore there. They're low to the ground and thick.
Pass is caught for a short gain. That's going to be a 2-yard out from the slot man. Let's see who that was. And right away, you see him going to the air, Coach. That's complete to number 20. Frankie Gonzalez. You know, so
the way you battle a team like South, who's great on offense, is keep their offense off the field. And if you can sustain long drives, keeping that offense on the sideline doubles your chances.
Great point. So we have our first time out on the field. Gives us an opportunity to thank our office again. You know, the Boston Green, he puts together these schedules. We were lucky to have 2 games this week. You know, definitely thankful for the Boston Green and the rest of our staff over at the Kern High School District Superintendent's Office. Miss Deanna Ribbons processing all those invoices. Javier running around crazy, setting cameras and stuff up. Dr. Julian Wilson always on the board.
Speaking of Javier, he's probably around here somewhere, huh?
He's around here somewhere putting in work. Kevin Willie, one of our other producer directors, had a great week at band at West High. Vance Palm and Rich Cornford did an amazing job last night, and we'll talk about last night's game when we get a break because, woo-wee, instant classic. 2nd and 8 for the Blades, Coach. Trips open set. Quick pitch to the right. Lenore, another 7 yards of pop. Oh, actually, that's
Barboa, Jacob Barboa. So he's the quick, flashy one. Lenore's the power. So you kind of got a thunder lightning combination with those two.
Got you. Okay, so Big Jacob.
Another 3rd and 3, very manageable.
That's handed off inside
Oh.
again.
That's a big
And
gain
he's
there.
outside, and he's going to go cross. Oh, nice tackle at the 30. And that was Jacob Barboa
Yeah.
again.
And like you said, if Nathan Thurman, number 2, doesn't make that tackle, that's 6 points.
So right away, Coach, you're kind of seeing that East does have some weapons that can make some plays in the backfield. We expected them to play tougher than the record. Shotgun spread set. High snap. And that's Barboa as he's wrapped up. And that's going to be a huge tackle for a loss. Melvin Parra on the stop.
You saw that high snap kind of got him out of timing there, so. And that's all it takes. Look at that big front line that the Spartans have out there.
Right, boy. And man, that was about 900 pounds that just jogged to the sideline right there. Big Mekhi Tanner.
Well, they got a nose guard out there. He's got to be going 300.
Woo-wee. All right, so the Blaze, that's the one thing that hurts you when you're a running team is being behind the chain. Shotgun spread set. Back to Barboa. Great tackle.
He's going to bring up about a 3rd and 10 now. First time the Blades have been tested here. 3rd and long, maybe a 4-down zone because we might be out of the range of the field goal kicker. So you might see East High go for it on 4th down. So you got 2 downs to gain 10 yards.
Yeah, and that's why I like the run play. You know, a lot of teams panic. You know, you're getting 2nd and long. You want to start throwing the ball around, and that's not your identity. Shotgun double set for the Blades. Quarterback drops back. Nice protection, and now he runs right back up through the middle. Great decision. As he doesn't lose any yards, he gains about 3.
He had Dominic Heckert open on the post there. He could have seen him.
Heckert has had a nice year, 14 catches for 169 yards, averaging 12 yards a catch. Definitely know he's being used because you talked about East hasn't passed it but 52 times in 6 games.
6 games.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's less than 5 passes a game. Oh, that hit the ground.
Yeah. That was 4th down there, so it's going to be South High ball. We talked about them throwing only 50 times. South High alone has 2 quarterbacks, J.J. Flores and Josh Encinas have thrown the ball 50 times alone, each of these.
Got you. Two different philosophies. And they probably laughing at my math 10 times a game. So, but again, different identities, Coach, and that drive kind of shows how well East can move the football on the ground, but when they get in trouble is when they get in those long distance 3rd or 4th down conversions.
Yeah, and we're talking about moving the ball against a very good South High team.
Right, you don't get to 5-1 with a lackluster defense.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10, South High. Defense did their job. It's going to be twins left. Or nope, it's going to be a shotgun spread set against a 40 even front for the Blaze. 2 deep safeties. Pitch right. Nice pursuit by the Blaze.
Little zoom sweep there given to Hazley. He got about 2.
So right away, we talked about Jairell Hazley and his effectiveness. He also was very effective on the In the Huddle show that was live on campus today. Shout out to Greg Kerr and Trevor Horn, who were on campus with the East or the South High students today. It was beautiful, man. I love seeing it. It's like a mini game day.
Yeah.
I wish we had that stuff, man. I'm jealous. I'm hating, man. 2nd and 7. All right, so we got a timeout. We'll take one, too, and be right back on Kern High Network Football right after this.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
Second and 8 for the Spartans. Almost said the R word right there. Beautiful night in Spartanville.
Homecoming for South High.
The student section is looking very nice as well down there. Twins right. High snap. And that's a nice carry on the power. Going to make it a 3rd and short, Coach.
I'm trying to. Christian Tellez. Oh, excuse me. Marvin Parra. Okay.
Parra's been pretty effective on the year. 29 carries for 177 yards, averaging 6 yards a pop.
As much as they're throwing the ball, and you've got a running back that can average 6 yards a pop, good balance. And there he goes again. He's got it. He's got the first down.
Man, you got to love it, too, because it's nothing fancy. Power right, power left. They run a toss sweep first play, zoom sweep. But you see the confidence that they have. If they can run the football like this.
Yeah. They know they can throw it. And they've got some size up front. Look at 75 there.
Woo. Yeah, somebody send us.
Davion Jenkins. He's only a junior.
Send us some height and weight. They don't got the height and weight on this roster from Max Preps.
Their right guard's big and their right tackle's bigger.
Twins right. They go with the counter. Nice job. Parra is putting in work, but how about that guard and tackle pulling, coach, and leading the way up to the second level?
That's almost 600 pounds coming around the corner there.
And I'll tell y'all this, as a former right or left corner, you do not want to see those big fellas coming around the corner. We used to get low. Second and
real low.
3, real low. Twins right. South High looking crispy right now. Jet sweep left. Great tackle made in the backfield, and that is number 7, Jacob Pinto. Jacob out there tackling like a Ferrari, not a Pinto. That was nice. That's a big play because if you can get them behind the chains too a little bit.
Gives them a 3rd and 5 for South High.
Huge opportunity for the Blades. You got to get these kind of stops, Coach, if you want to compete.
You sure do. You got to get East High's got to get 5 stops tonight to be competitive. Uh-oh.
Oh.
I don't know which way.
Right, because
I think it's going to be an offside.
Yeah, it looked like the defender crossed the line, but you also had a offensive lineman on the left side moving at the same time. So let's see what we have. And I definitely got to – oh, and it's a false start.
Uh-oh.
And I got to take a timeout to shout out the first coach I ever had, Coach James Taplin with the white hat on. It's my coach at Bessie Owens.
A veteran white hat.
Veteran white hat. You know, I had an opportunity to call the game at Ridgeview when he led the first all-African-American crew of officials in state of California history.
I was there with you.
That is crazy, Coach, to think that has never happened. Shotgun spread set.
3rd and 10 for the Rebs. Oops. Spartans.
Oh, there you go. That's one, Coach. That's one. That's one for Coach. We always try to see who's going to say it the most. So let's talk about what just happened there over the last sequence of plays, Coach. You get the huge tackle by Pinto, makes it
3rd
and 5.
Now we're ending up in the 3rd and 15 here.
Yeah, 2 straight penalties. Sometimes all it takes is one good play to help that momentum on the other side. Great job by the Blades. Let's see if the passing game of the Spartans is going to come to life.
Look for Encinas to put it up here. Keep your eyes on number 1, Hazley.
Quarterback drops back. He has a man, and it's complete.
Antoine Jones. Little double post there. Gets that cover 2. Nice ball by Encinas.
Shoot, Jones has had a year. He has 14 catches on the year, 244 on the season.
South High playing with confidence.
That was a nice route, too. Quick, skinny post.
Yeah. 3rd and 15 didn't phase them. They didn't blink.
They didn't blink, Coach. That looked way too easy. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. You almost got me right there, Coach. Trips right. So Encinas, as advertised, nice first throw down the field. Encinas drops back, lets it fly.
Got the wheel route. He's got the catch. He's in bounds. He's in bounds. He's down to the 5-yard line. Little wheel route there.
Coach Van Horn, that throw just gave me goosebumps because it was the wheel route, and he put it on the back shoulder. And the receiver spent backwards with the back shoulder, and he probably got 2 feet in. That was an amazing pass. 1st and goal, Spartans. Wow.
Antoine Jones.
Talk about 2 good passes to make me a believer. That was a strike right there, guys. All right, they come heavy. Oh, high snap. Picked up by Encinas. He's going to throw it. Oh, and nearly caught, but you got ineligible receivers downfield. And that's going to be a penalty on the Spartans. Wow. Man, that looked like the snap last night in that game against Centennial for the Drillers, man. So last night, play of the game, Coach. High snap for the Drillers in the 4th quarter, goes 20 feet over the punter Jack Smith's head. He runs 20 yards back, gets it while 5 guys are on him, grabs it, and punts it 48 yards back the other way to seal the deal. Drillers hold him off and get to overtime because of Jack Smith's effort and hustle on that play. It was the play of the game, hands down.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Definitely. All right, so Encinas back in the shotgun. Twins left with an H-back left. And they go counter back to the right-hand side. Great job by the interior of the Blades.
Yeah, host of Blades there making that tackle. That's going to bring 2nd and goal from about the 12-yard line now.
Yeah, and if you're the head coach for South, you got to be frustrated because 2 steps forward, 3 steps back on this drive. And now you got a 3rd, or is that 2nd and 10?
It's going to be 2nd and goal. 2nd and 12 from the. Keep an eye on Hazley here. Number 1.
Yep, you got Hazley, you got Jones.
Uh-oh,
and another false start. And those are the things that give coaches gray hair or make them have no hair at all. Because
that's already 4 penalties in the 1st quarter. We got 15 seconds still left.
After some amazing quarterback play. So 10 seconds left. Doesn't look like the Spartans are in any hurry. And, Coach, man, we got a fast-flowing game. That is the end of the first quarter.
And there's the fade.
And there's the
got
fade.
It off.
Oh, and it's caught. As I'm thinking the quarter is going to be over, they hike it with 1 second left, and he mossed him.
Yep.
Wow.
Single coverage out there against Hazley. You got a mismatch in height for one, and then Hazley's a heck of a receiver, two. Easy call.
Coach, you had your crystal ball out because you said keep an eye on Hazley. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the clock. I turn my head to the right. It's 1 second on the clock. They snapped the ball. Amazing ball placement.
Yeah. Again, another, you talked about on the wheel route, throwing that ball into the outside shoulder. Another well-placed ball, getting that, taking advantage of the height advantage that Hazley had over the corner.
In that corner, I think it was Pinto, he had great coverage. And how you used to teach us to strip through the wrist, it looked like he was hand fighting it all the way down. That's just an amazing play by Hazley. Wow, so the Spartans strike first. Kick is up, kick is good, and that is the end of the first quarter. We'll be back on Kern High Network Football right after this. Welcome back to Kern High Network Football. Kenny Calvin, the legend, Coach Rick Van Horn, Dr. Julian Wilson on the board. Spartans strike first. Had a few penalties. Looked like they were going to stub their toe, but able to make an amazing play at the end of the first quarter, Coach.
They sure did. They sure did. They tried to come out and establish a run game, kind of put a little pounding on with those big guys they got up front. Kind of wear down East High a little bit. Got behind the chains, had to throw it. They do it well. 7 points.
You love the discipline of the coach because you see the talent that they have. You probably could line up five wide and just go. But he's trying to be civil, show some balance. But that passing game looked very effective. All right, so the Spartans will kick off. Back deep for the Blades. Trying to get some numbers. I believe you got Pinto and Barboa. So that's going to be caught. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 40 as Gonzalez fair catches.
Very unusual. Each team had only one possession that first quarter.
Right, Coach. I was just thinking how quick that first quarter flew by. One possession each. Both had very successful possessions. Each just couldn't finish the deal.
Yeah, and they both just trying to establish a run, eating up that clock.
Wow,
allowed
Coach.
Only one possession.
We might get home early tonight. Knock on wood somewhere. Knock on wood. It is homecoming. All right, so shotgun spread set for the Blades. Single high safety for the Rebels. That's one for me. For the Spartans. Trips open set. Jet sweep to Barboa. Nice block on the outside. You got the defender. This is funny, Coach. Number 12. Thomas Encinas he starts arguing with the official, and the play is still going. He has his back to the official saying, hey, I got held here. Turn around and keep playing, young man. Still got a play going. 2nd and 9 for the Spartans. Dang it, I said Rebels already, man. It's 1-1.
1-1.
It's 1-1, man.
1-1.
Oh.
I think I stopped myself at Reb.
All right, shotgun spread set for the Blaze. 40 even front for the Spartans. Oh! Nice idea, just a little too hot. Intended for Barboa.
Good play action fake by Delgado. Just put that ball a little high.
Yeah, it was high and hot, like a hot air balloon. You know, and that's unfortunate for East because it looked like that quick slant had some. Had he caught it, he might still be running.
He would have been one-on-one with the free safety there, and who knows?
Those are the kind of plays you got to have if you want to defeat a 5-1 football team because
now that puts you at a 3rd and 9 situation. Uh-oh.
Delgado flings it out, and that's a great tackle. Oh, it's not yet. Still on his feet and moving forward. A lot of effort for 2 yards.
That's Isai Santiago, number 8.
Boy, you talk about somebody that's hard to bring down. That was nice. Nonetheless, it's going to result in a 4th down, and now you got to kick it to the same guy that just Randy Moss somebody in Jyrell Hazy. He had to teach everybody how to say his name earlier. Everybody been torching his name, so we're going to get it right, Coach. We got him. 4th and 6. High snap, one-hand catch, and that's a nice one. Hazy gets it at the 25. Makes one miss. Oh, nice stiff arm. But 23 hangs on for dear life.
Ishmael Salazar said, all right, stiff arm me. I'm going to hang on to that arm and bring you down.
Hey, it don't count if you get him down. Great job by 23. Whew. Man, it was some huge plays in last night's game.
A lot of big games last night. Centennial BHS, and not far from there was Liberty and Frontier.
Man, it went down to the wire too, Coach. Both of them. You got to love it. I mean, Bakersfield is just a beautiful place when there's some good football being played.
Uh-oh. Looks like we got too much time. Oh, sideline warning.
Okay, so our first sideline warning against the Spartans. And what that is it's letting the coaches know, hey, we're coming this way. We need you to back up. Ironically, the South High coaches didn't back up. You still across the white line. So don't be surprised if you see that flag later.
Brandon Burrell, his first carry of the night.
Chacon will stop number 4 for East. Angel Chacon.
2nd and 10.
Shoot, Burrell. We've said everybody's name except the leading rushers. He has 68 carries, 391 yards.
And that's his first carry of the night.
Coach, he's averaging 6 yards a pop, too. This is a nice offense. But now we have another penalty. And again, it looks like another sideline warning because the coaches didn't get behind the line. And now you got the white hat coming to talk to him.
This one, yeah.
Go ahead, Coach.
I don't understand this one. It looked like they were back behind that 3-yard line.
Well, what he's saying, and I see exactly what he's saying, Coach. He said exactly what I said. He just gave you a sideline warning. You didn't even move back. You're still standing in the same place, and you think I ain't going to turn around? Kudos to the official for communicating that, hey, I've already asked you guys to back up, and you didn't even move. So now I got to penalize you again.
And that one's going to be marked off. Well, it should, because that's her second.
And it's unfortunate because really it's just a situation where, as a coach, you feel like you don't need to listen to him. And he's telling you, hey, guys, the play is coming this way. I'm about to run this way. I need you to back up.
Uh-oh. Burrell.
Cross the 40.
There he goes. There he goes.
One man to beat.
One man to beat.
Great hustle.
Jacob Pinto from behind. You talked about that 6-yard average. That average went up a little bit there.
The player said, Coach, don't worry, I got you. Hold my Pepsi.
Yeah.
Hold my Pepsi, Coach. I got those yards right back. So 1st and 10, South High. And again, Coach, we've been hearing about all of these special numbers in the air. This running game looks fantastic, too.
You were talking about numbers. They've got Encinas, who's got 330 yards. Burrell had 391 before that carry.
That's a great running back room you got there. So Encinas slings it out. Makes one miss. He's going to be rallied at about the 5-yard line. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 5. South High can get a first down inside the 3. That's a nice toss for Encinas.
Antoine Jones.
Jones been getting busy.
You're talking about rushing. J.J. Flores, another quarterback, has 330 yards. So you got 3 guys with over 300 yards. That's balance.
Man, that is balance, Coach. And, I mean, we already talked about how well they're doing from a passing perspective. That's a good offense. Nice job by the defensive line of the Blaze. I like the pride that the defensive line is trying to play with. You know, they minimize those big plays. They might be all right. Unfortunately, they didn't do that on this drive. And the Spartans are knocking on the door. So we have another timeout. That's an official's timeout for an injured player. That gives us an opportunity to highlight the South High administration. Principal Brian Mendeborough, AP of Instruction Josh Porter, AP of Administration Tori Nettleton, Athletics Director Dante Borodori, Activities Director Cecilia Polito. I played with some Mendeburrows. There's so many, I can't even remember which one it was I played with. Man, you got Mike, you got Brian.
Well, Brian's a East High Blade.
Got you. I played with one of them at BC. He gonna kick my butt if he listening, and I can't remember which one it is.
He was part of that 1994 state championship basketball team with J.R. Henderson.
Got you. Shout out to my boy, J.R. Sakuragi.
Yeah.
Living in Japan, living it up. We went 29-0 my 8th grade year at Compton and won the SMAF championship in basketball.
With J.R.
J.R., Antoine Alexander, Brandon Hankins, David Carter.
Well, every one of those except you, it looks like, all went to East and they kept it going.
Yep, they kept it going. See, but I always tell that story. You know, we got a little story time right now of how I didn't know where I was going to school because my grandma had just passed. And I won the swimming championship, and Coach Humphreys, Bill Humphreys, saw me win the swimming championship. I won the 50 free and the 50 breast. I had the national record. And he said, hey, you should come to BHS. I said, okay. He recruited me to go to BHS. I ended up showing up at BHS. I didn't get to play freshman football because I showed up on the first day of school. That was the story of why I never played freshman football.
Okay.
And I swam and played basketball freshman year. So kudos to the great Bill Humphrey.
Yeah.
So the injured player for the Spartans looks to be number 15, Israel Fuentes. He looks to be okay walking off, Coach. Hopefully he lost his win.
Always a good sight to see him walk off the field.
Right. So,
3rd and goal now for the Spartans.
yeah, I mean, and this is an opportunity to really put this game in a chokehold, especially how well you're running the football. 3rd and 3.
7:49 left in this second quarter. Little option.
And that is going to be a touchdown. He walks in for the Spartans. Wow.
Jarrell Hazley with the pitch. And
wow.
When you say walked in, he actually walked in the end zone.
Man, he George Jefferson walked in there. All he needed was a suit coat and a and a cow lick on his head.
Not always, especially this early in the game, to show up the other team like that.
Yeah, I mean, but again, Coach, you think about the effectiveness of their balance that they've had. That big run right there, you're not going to be able to beat a team that can pass this well if you're letting them get 50-yard runs.
Well, we see they've got some weapons. Hazley, Encinas, Burrell, Antoine Jones, J.J. Flores.
Yeah, and I mean, and speaking of weapons, let's talk South High Spartan and Rebel weapons. Talked about recent weapons that they had. Lomax was an amazing player that they had. And now his little brother is wrecking shop over there for the Drillers as a freshman. Might be one of the best players in the city coming up. Who's one for you? Famous Rebel weapon, Spartan weapon, Rebel weapon?
Well, one of them was he was announced in their Hall of Fame, Mark McGill, who had a big tight end that went to UCLA, and I'm blanking on his name. It wasn't worthy.
Well, I can bring up, you already talked about Clayton T-Con Madden. He was an amazing weapon. He's going into the Hall of Fame for basketball and football. Mark Nelson was an amazing weapon in the 90s for South High. Curtis McKinney.
Well, they had the two, McGill and I cannot think of the tight end. Both went to UCLA off that same team.
Gotcha. We'll get back to Spartan and Rebel weapons.
And if you think of that tight end's name, shoot Kenny a text because he's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, and they go onside. Oh, and it looks like, they actually.
That's going to be close because it looked like.
Woo!
Well, East High fell on it anyway, but.
Looked like he touched it early, Coach.
Yeah.
Because I'm right here on the 49-yard line.
Right there.
You're on the 47. And that Spartan touched it early. The official missed that one. That would have been a disaster had the Spartans got on that.
I think that's what the referee called. They did touch it a bit early.
Actually, it's outside the 49 South
7:41 left in the second quarter.
Woo. How about the guts of South High to try to take out, going for the jugular with the onside kick with the 14-0 lead. Woo.
That's textbook. That's what you want to do. Go up 14. Keep the pressure on, especially that first half, until it gets out of hand. Reverse fake. Santiago with a pass.
Nice. Oh, my goodness. Runs him over and still on his feet.
That's Angel Chacon.
Woo!
For the Blades.
Sheesh. Somebody
fake
get it.
Reverse. Santiago, who is the a quarterback, faked the handoff, threw the ball in the flat to Chacon.
I mean, talk about some powerful running, man. That kid looked like mini George Kittle out there after he got in the open field. Huge play for the Blades. 1st and 10. That's what they needed.
Yeah.
Woo. Looking at that
You talk
replay.
about Moss. He got Derrick Henry.
Oh, my goodness.
Lenore.
Pulls his way.
Coach,
Gain of about 4 there.
Yard line.
Coach, you see how the Blaze can be successful if they find a way to keep it simple. You don't have to do a lot. You just got to do a little bit very well. You go with a little razzle-dazzle to get down to the other end, and now you can use those big backs. 2nd and 6. Shotgun double set for the Blades. Single high, man cover look for the Spartans. And that's going to be handed off to Lenore again. He'll be tackled after a 2-yard gain.
Be 3rd and about 5.
Now, Coach, do you think this is 4-down territory
Oh, this
for the
definitely.
Blades?
They had, I watched them, I had them at the Foothill game, Vance and I, and they were having some problems with their kicking game, both punting and field goal kicking. So
Gotcha.
if you're Coach Carrasco, you want 7 and not 3.
You got a flag on the opposite side, Coach.
That's Santiago with the catch.
Either it's encroachment or illegal shift. Let's see what it is. The legend, James Taplin. He's going to say illegal formation. Or false start.
Going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Blades.
And it kind of worked out for him because you didn't get much yardage on the pass, so it's like almost like you got a free down, another opportunity, as they only march it back 5. So that'll make it 3rd and 10, Coach. 6 minutes left to play. And we got a stoppage again. So we'll take a timeout here on Kern High Network and be right back live from Spartan Land. All right, we are back. Blades with a 3rd and 10 come out in the shotgun spread set. And quarterback rolls right, and he's going to be sacked.
He fumbled that ball.
Woo, luckily they get back on it.
John, it's going to bring up about a 4th. That's about a loss of 5 there. 4th and 15. I think the offense is going to stay on the field. We talked about 4-down zone.
Right, Coach. But
you're in no man's land right now.
Man, that's just so unfortunate because the worst thing you can do in that situation is lose yardage when you're already behind the chain. So let's see. Blades with a 4th and 14 from the 24-yard line.
Now they can get a 1st down. They get it inside the 9.
Shotgun double set. And look like early movement. Lets it fly. Has a man in his car. And that's going to be a touchdown. Blades. Wow.
Heckard, number 1.
Wow. So Dominique Heckard runs the dig route, Coach. How about the movement by the quarterback in the pocket?
I was going to say, Delgado stayed in that pocket. He knew it was 4th down. He's got to get rid of that ball. And stayed in that pocket long enough, moved around, and threw that dig route on the money.
Wow. And how about the yards after the catch? Huge catch because he had to go up to the next level to go get it.
and it was behind him a bit.
Kick is up. Kick is good, and the Blades have struck. 14-7. We'll stay here, Coach. That was a nice job. Fourth and forever, and you complete that. That's a nice confidence builder for Delgado.
Yeah. Fourth and 14, and they scored a touchdown.
You know, and again, we talked about one thing about East High, and if you know anybody that grew up on the East Side, you better not think you got the fight won until they all the way knocked out. Right? I mean, and that's the beauty of seeing them power through to get that drive right there. You know, you give up another touchdown, and it's going to be an early night.
Yeah.
But now we got a game on our hands.
Yeah, and you're talking about a 1-5 team coming in tonight against a 5-1 Spartan team. And they're definitely not playing like a 1-5 team.
They are not playing like a 1-5 team.
You know, you look at their schedule, and they played Highland, who we know what Highland's got, Tehachapi. So 2 of those 5 losses to 2 very good teams.
That's a great point, because those are 2 of the best teams in the county right now on a lot of people's radar.
That's right. And they're both in Division III. The Division South High will be in the playoffs.
That's very interesting, Coach.
That's a very competitive division right there if you look at it.
Sky kick from the Blades. Going to be taken at the 32. Nice coverage. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Coach, that's a great point, because everybody, you look at a record and you're like, oh, man, they playing horrible. But then when you start going through the schedule and you're like, hey, well, the people that beat them are 5-1 and undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? You know, I mean, and then you have the tough rivalry games that you have to deal with. You know, anybody can lose a rivalry game. So, you know, definitely a confidence builder for the Blades.
It is. And right now they need something like that, sitting at 1-5 as well as they're playing. Taking 16 teams out of that to fill that bracket. They're sitting right on the outside, 17th, 18th ranked in the Division 4.
And so let's see what the White Hat has. I'm wondering if it's too many. Legal substitution for the Spartans. Too many in the huddle. And that's very unfortunate, because it's the first play of your drive. You're trying to get the momentum back. And here you have a simple mental error with too many guys on the field. 4:47 left to play in the first half.
Penalty-wise, South High is definitely winning the penalty game, because that's their 6th penalty.
Oh, ball's on the ground. Woo. So you're starting to hear the crowd calm down a little bit over here. It was like a little party for a few minutes.
Might have your eyes on that couple of those floats in that homecoming. You want to get there, especially if you know that.
Right.
If you're a player and you're involved in that, you know how that is.
Oh, man, Coach.
And it's up to the coaches. Keep your eyes on the ball.
Yes, indeed. 2nd and long. Cenis rolls right. Has a man.
Nice
and
ball.
That's a nice ball.
Man.
Oh,
he
my
threaded
goodness.
that one right over a defender. He put it the only place that ball could be.
Coach, that looked like a big-time Saturday throw right there, because he had the backer dropping to the flat. You had the corner dropping. That was nice. Yeah. I'm impressed with Encina's arm. Coach, you speak.
And his accuracy.
And that accuracy. You talk of homecoming. We're going to share some homecoming stories in a little bit, because I played my worst half ever the night before I won Homecoming King. Shotgun spread set. Read zone inside. It's going to be taken up for 2 yards.
We got about 4:15 left in this second quarter. 14-7 South High.
Yeah, Coach, taking it back 30 years. It's my 30-year reunion.
There you go.
Go 30 years back. I played the worst half of football ever because I was so nervous about homecoming king. Second half, first play of the game, I got an interception right after it's all over with. Trips open set. And seen it's rolling left. And it's caught. Nice move, makes 2 miss, and that's an amazing job.
Jyrell Hazley.
And he's thrown some long ones, some short ones, some intermediate ones. You see a kid like Hazley getting these balls, you're not surprised to see why he was on the panel for In the Huddle this morning. This kid's a baller. Shotgun double set, coach. Oh, and it's caught again.
Tomas Encinas, number 12.
Man, you can tell they've been doing that in the backyard.
Yeah, little brotherly love there. That was a nice catch because that DB was right there.
Coach, I thought it was going to be a pick. DB came downhill on the inside. He did secure the tackle trying to go for the interception. Man, that kid got an arm.
And for you and I, we're thinking that should have been a pick 6 the other way.
Whew.
You throw that out route late.
Oh, you got movement. You know, so speaking interceptions, Coach, you just made a great point. You are our all-time leading interception record holder at Bakersfield High School and Bakersfield College. My whole career I was chasing your numbers, right? I never got there. I think I'm number 3 on the all-time list at BC because one of my former players, Kenny Graham, passed me up. So I always like to highlight your interception ability. Shotgun spread set.
A lot of room for Burrell.
That was a simple power play.
Yeah. Jacob Barboa. You know, we've been calling Barboa's name quite a bit.
Barboa is balling for the Blades.
Both offensively and on the defensive side.
He's been balling, Coach.
Yeah. I don't think he's come off the field.
I'll tell you who else has been balling down there. Big Michael Butterball. That kid is huge.
Look at that right side.
He's playing right guard, guys. Got to be 350 pounds. Nice job by the deep line of the Blades.
Well, you talk about Michael. He's got the right last name, Butterball.
Yeah.
Look at him, but he's no Butterball. He's a big boy.
That is one of the best football names I have ever heard, and you better be a big fella with the name Butterball. That boy wide is all outside. But, hey, running to that right side has been very successful. No yards on that previous carry, but you got to think that this is 4-down territory for them, too, as easily as they've been able to move the football.
I tell you what, one of the best offensive lines I see, and you'll be surprised, West High.
Nice.
Huge across the front line. Burrell, we got a minute left in this first half.
Right, and it's going to be very important.
And that's going to be close here.
Wow. I didn't think he got it, and he didn't.
He didn't. 4th down.
Wow.
48 seconds and counting here.
So we got our first drama, Coach.
We got a timeout by South High.
So, with 46 seconds left in the first half, Coach, we'll stay here.
You got to get the first down here. You got to get the first down. You get up, you got to spike it, and then it's going to give you time for about definitely 2 plays. Maybe they can get 3 plays in there.
Gotcha, because they got that one timeout. You want to try to save it until you score or know that you're going to put yourself in a position to score.
Yeah, get the safe money, get the first down, get up, spike it, and then take your shots.
What you calling right here, Coach?
Well, it might be a bush push. I don't know what the Eagles call it. What do they call that?
Oh, that tush push?
Tush push, but you know that was a bush push.
Yep.
That's where it started.
Right.
Back in 05.
They do such a great job with that play.
Yeah. So here we go. Looks like they're in a power set. They're going to get.
He's just going to trust that big offensive line. And that's going to be the quarterback keeping it, and they got it.
Barboa again.
Man, Barboa is playing his heart out, but again, like we said, you see that 900 pounds coming at you around that corner, you getting out the way. That was just great blocking on the right side. That's the play that made Frank Gifford famous.
All right, clock is running, 30 seconds left. They didn't spike it. They should have came up right away.
Yeah, let's see if they regret that.
The change. 20 seconds.
Back to the ground. Very interesting call as well after you let that amount of time run off, because now you got 13 seconds.
You call your last timeout.
Very questionable clock management right there, Coach, because you said what they need to do. If you're getting that first down right after, you got to spike the ball because you want to keep the timeout. You let 20 seconds run off the clock just setting the play.
And you wasted time in the huddle. They huddled after that first down.
And you huddled up in a hurry-up situation. Well, I guess when you got Encinas, you probably feel like you're just going to have an opportunity to throw a couple balls with 13 seconds left.
They may have. Remember, they have no timeouts now. So this first one's got to be a quick. He's got to be a slant. You might throw the fade. You'll probably see the fade to Hazley.
Yeah, and
they got to come right back. Call 2 plays here.
And that's the safe money. I mean, you talked about Hazley too.
If it's incomplete, then they can huddle up.
Yeah, throw it outside to your big guy. He got the wide side of the field. Look like he has safety help over there as well.
Oh, now we got an East tie. Timeout.
You like the chess match by Coach Carrasco? Speaking of Coach B.B. Carrasco, I met Coach B.B. Carrasco when I first moved back home 20 years ago and took my first job after retiring from my coaching experience down south with Kern Bridges Youth Homes. And Coach B.B. used to be one of our specialists at Kern Bridges with me.
And he was coaching at Highland at the time.
Yes. Yep. Love putting the pieces of the puzzle together for our village. I always talk about you guys and how the village raised me when, you had some instability as a kid and you're trying to find yourself, man. Having coaches like Coach Theo and you, for my first high school experience, helped me find out who I was myself and find something I love to do. So shout out to the coaches like you and Coach Theo and Coach Carrasco. All right, 2nd and 11. Shotgun double set. Encinas drops back, throws the fade. That's going to be D'd up very well and incomplete.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 11. 7 seconds left. No timeouts.
Get this, Coach. We got 7 seconds left in the first half, and it's 8:30. This game is flying because you got 2 teams that have ran the ball pretty well between the 20s.
Yeah. Now you got to remember, each team only had 1 possession that first quarter.
I don't know if I've ever did a game where that's happened.
Well, that happens when we get those double wing teams where they just eat up the clock.
Encinas drops back, pumps and goes. Looks like he has a man, and it is caught for the touchdown. Spartans.
1 second left on the clock.
Wow. Talk about amazing ball placement.
Well,
they go to pump and go.
They got lucky because Dominic Heckert, the safety, who's sitting back there, and that's his job, fell down, which made it easy pickings for Jarrell Hazley. And we knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming. You called it. Hazley putting on a show. That was an amazing route.
That's his second touchdown of the night.
Woo! So the Spartans set the kick.
No, that's his third touchdown, isn't it?
Out.
He walked in.
Yeah, he
and 2
walked in
catches.
and 2 catches. Wow. So Hazley with 3 first-half touchdowns, 2 off the arm of Encinas, 1 where George Jefferson strutted himself.
And I think Encinas, that was his first incomplete pass there. The fade was
The
7
fade.
seconds left. So he must be, we don't have the stats, he must be 10 for 11.
I mean, Coach, we talked about the confidence of the offense. They didn't panic.
No.
We
no.
up here panicking. We like, hey, man, y'all better do something. They knew exactly what they had and executed. That was beautiful. 'Cause I swore that you mismanaged the clock right there. But they got everything done that they wanted. And with 1 second remaining, they have a commanding 14-point lead over the Blades.
1 second left. We'll have time for the kickoff return. Kickoff return. 21-7. Spartans on their homecoming. That's always nice.
It's beautiful. Look at all the young cheerleaders down there. You got the young Cavalier cheerleaders joining the Spartan cheerleaders. Always got to give love to the cheerleaders, too.
Might see a pooch kick here. Another little 9-iron. Nope, they're going to kick it deep.
That's the deepest one all night. And he's going to have to run that back. Great coverage, and that is going to do it for the first half. The South High Spartans up 21 over the East High Blades with 7. Kenny Calvin and Rick Van Horn will be back with second half action on Kern High Network Football.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities.
And I still know I thought base about John Monsieur and County looking a long time ago. Former coach of Bakersfield College. Homecoming festivities.
Instructions say if you finish the game, our ball go away. Move!
Welcome to the class of 2027.
that over? Can we start that over? Thank you. Here we go, seniors! Let's take our time because right now we are going to be introducing our royalty for Homecoming 2025. Let's hear it! For Julius Wellness and Scarlett Lopez. Let's hear it for our next. Danielle Paisley and Patricia Stovall. Please welcome down the aisle next, we have JJ Flores, Giovanni Rodriguez, and Luna Gomez. JJ Join the drum roll, please, for our 2024 Homecoming Queen,
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities. We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities. We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Beautiful homecoming by the staff and students of the Spartans, 21-7. You know, we had an interesting first quarter, one possession apiece, Coach, but then the Spartans started to pick it up.
They did, you know, and they off the arm of Acenas, and of course, Jarrell Hazley with 3 touchdown catches in the first half. And just like the script, who's up for homecoming queen? Number one, Jarrell Hazley. He could have really put an icing on the cake, that cherry on top if he would have won.
Right.
Homecoming king.
Yeah, his teammate won it. You know, that's a beautiful thing to see your teammate win as well. You can see him being a good sport and clapping for him. Two touchdown receptions, one rushing with that sweep that he had or that power that he had. Jarrell Hazley's the man. And you made a funny point. You said either he's going to be pissed off that he didn't win Homecoming King and come out and score 3 touchdowns, or he's just going to be like, I don't even care no more. We up. So let's see what happens from the Spartans and Jarrell Hazley as we prepare for the second half. But, you know, before we get too far, Coach, definitely want to send a shout-out to our staff at the Kern High School District Superintendents, our boss Stan Green, the Hall of Famer Stan Green, national champion 1988 Renegade quarterback Stan Green, all of our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union, the South High Administration, Principal Brian Menderborough, AP of Instruction Josh Porter, AP of Administration Tori Nettleton, Athletics Director Dante Borodori, Activities Director Cecilia Polito. So, Coach, I mean, the one thing I'll say about East High, it's my first time seeing them, they definitely played a lot better than their record dictated, and that's what I expected out of.
Yeah, you know, you got one of the better teams in town in South High with a 5-1 record, coming hot out of the box from the start of the year. And, 21-7, 14-7 actually, because, South High scored late, late on a safety falls down, and Hazley gets an easy touchdown, but could very well be 14-7 and a tight ball game.
Yeah, I mean, because they were one play away. They were playing some solid defense. They had double coverage on that pump and go route. That was just an amazing pass, and the DB arms wasn't long enough, and he just didn't have enough length. So we're back in action. That's going to be taken at the 15-yard line. Uh-oh, and it might go. It's across the 30, across the 40. If he can get this block. Great job by the Blades, finally corralling them. But they're going to start with some amazing field position, and now we got some extracurricular going.
It's about a 45-yard return by Hazley, so right there it's telling us how he's going to come out. He's going.
Very impressed with South High's team overall. Offensively, they have a lot of weapons. They haven't even really used a lot of them.
No, there's still some weapons that they haven't used, guys that have good numbers. JJ Flores, who's both passing and running, we haven't seen him at all.
Right now, that's a read zone, and they're still going forward. No whistles blown. That's going to be a 4-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 6.
That was a 30-minute halftime homecoming show, which is nice, but if you're players,
yeah, you hate it.
You hate it.
Yeah, because
they had to sit for 30 minutes. And as a coach, you're not going to talk for 30 minutes, especially at halftime.
Right. And that's basically 2 times longer than a regular halftime. So let's see how it affects the offense. Bunt set to the left. They're going with that iron horse. Encinas, he's going to be tackled after a 4-yard gain. QB keeps it on the power. That's bringing up a 3rd and 4 for the Spartans.
Probably 4-down zone, 4-down territory here. We got a good wind. All of a sudden, the second half kicks up, and we're up here on top, and that wind is now blowing.
It finally feels like the fall has shown up.
That's right.
First day of fall, finally.
And it was 91 degrees today.
Man, you're telling me, Coach, I had to work PE area today. Speaking of, shout out to all my SAM units. See some of my security that I worked with walking around on campus today. Nice move inside. Still going across the 10, down to the 7-yard line.
Marvin Parr. Now, we haven't seen Parr since the first quarter. We've got Burrell, that big dose of Burrell in that second quarter.
And what's so funny about not seeing him since the first quarter, Coach, he's probably averaging 16 yards a carry. That was about 25 right there.
First and goal just inside the 7.
You know,
For South
so
High.
first and goal. Shotgun spread set for Encinas. They go right diving. That's a
Oh,
great
woo.
job by the D-line of the
Wow.
Blades. Wow.
Give me a number on who made first contact.
Yeah, we definitely got to give some credit. That looked like big number 24. Marcus Rivera
And number
and
4,
Angel Chacon. Man, that was a great job feeling right there, Coach.
Chacon's had a couple good hits this game.
The Chacon name is synonymous with big hits
The ball's at the 7-yard line.
in Kern County football lore. So again, I mean, and that's a prime example of what we see out of that East High defense tonight. They playing with some pride in spots.
Yeah. They're not going to roll over for you.
Shotgun spread set. Man coverage
Passes in the backfield.
for the Blades.
Option.
Speed option.
Absolutely. On the
Hazley. Uh-oh.
Oh, and every flag in the pocket of the officials came out and was thrown at the same person. That was some amazing effort by Hazley.
Hazley was trying to, that's the same play he walked in the first half. He was trying to
bring it back.
get that strike going in, but you saw nothing. Didn't want anything to do with it now.
Man, when you see Hazley run the ball in the backfield, Coach, he's powerful too.
Yeah. And we don't have sizes or heights on these guys, so we're just kind of guesstimating. But, you know, he's good 6 foot, 6'1".
I don't know what they putting in that cafeteria food nowadays.
You know, probably about 175.
So huge penalty. Backs the Spartans up, Coach.
South High's played very well tonight, except for
The ball's placed at
the
18-yard
penalties.
line.
I agree.
They're closing in on double-figure penalties already, and we're only in the third quarter. Which you got to give it to East High, who's had one penalty all night.
Playing very well.
Uh-oh. We've got movement on South High.
Oh, man.
Talking about penalties.
And these are the things that if you're heading to the playoffs, Coach, you want to try to clean that stuff up because you're playing too good of football to have these kind of penalties.
Yeah.
All right, so now, second and goal from the 22. Shotgun spread set for Encinas. Quarters coverage look for the Blades. Encinas keeps it. He has a man. Thrown deep. Oh, and that's the first bad ball we've seen out of him because he had him. Incomplete.
That was Tomas Encinas, and we think they're brothers,
Yeah, we're going to assume they're brothers.
but Tomas wasn't real happy with his brother there. He was
Yeah,
open.
he's still pouting on the way in, you see.
They're going to have some words when they get home tonight.
He hit him with the little 5-year-old pout step. It's going to be all right, bro. I don't know who big or little, bro, so I ain't going to call y'all out.
So according to the change, we've got a third and goal from about the 24-yard line.
Quick screen, and then it looks like they got a Calvary. If he can make one miss. Great job by the Blades. And that'll bring up fourth and goal.
Herbie Hanoso. We haven't seen him.
Also on the reception.
All right, and it looks like we're going to see our first field goal tonight, Coach. So,
And it's going to be J.J. Flores, who was also the homecoming king, number 25.
you know, so that time now gives us another opportunity to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union, our staff at the Kern High School District Superintendent's Office, our boss Stan Green, Javier, Deanna, all of the people that make these great events possible, the South High staff, the security, keeping people safe in the stands. Shout out to my fellow SAM units. If I didn't tell y'all, this is my first year joining the Kern High School District full-time, and I've been having the time of my life walking around the campus that made me great in Bakersfield High. Coach, y'all got one of the greatest security guards of all time over there at East High, and my running back, Steve Wofford.
Yeah, he's spending a lot of time over there. And he can walk around and they don't know who he is.
Man, it's so funny with kids not knowing who we are. I love it. All right, so setting up for this field goal. It's going to be about a 25-yarder. Snap is good. Kick is up. And that's why you win the homecoming king, because you can kick like that. Kick is good. And the Spartans will be up 22-7. So, you know, not the results you wanted, but you get something out of the half.
You do, you know. Hazley starts it off with a 45-yard kickoff return. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with some penalties here, going back and forth. You hate to travel all that distance and for not. That makes it 24-6. Spartans with about 8 minutes left in this third quarter.
You know, if East can come back, Coach, and it's, you know, it's still a game with 24-6. That play by Angel Chacon and the big fella inside that they made when they stopped him inside the 5-yard line.
Held him to a field goal, yeah.
That is the result of that tough defense. So let's see if the offense can match that intensity that the defense had, because playing with 30 yards of field position, that's some great defense for the Blades in that last series. All right, so the sky kick is up. You got to catch that. Oh, he called. He didn't even call for a fair catch, but they stopped the play. And you can tell the frustration on the runner.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get a
and
little
Frankie
run back
Gonzalez,
there.
yeah, he had action because he had a hole. And you have an official that stopped the play like it was a fair catch, and it was not a fair catch. He did not fair catch that.
No, it didn't look like it.
First down for East.
Nonetheless, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Blades.
You know, this South High team next week has Miramonte. They finish up with Miramonte North, and, of course, big game in Game 10 with Tehachapi. So they've still got a North team that's playing kind of like East High.
Right.
You know, they're playing tough, but the wins are coming few and far between.
Lenore.
Big Lenore, the leading rusher in this Mountain League.
I can see why. You know, he hasn't had many opportunities, Coach, but as you see, still getting that 6 yards a pop. They're just not able to put things together with it.
He's a guy that gets better. The more carries he gets, the longer the further into the game you go.
Oh, yeah. Guys like Frank Gore, Andrew Peterson, Steven Jackson, big
North. West, and they finish up with Del Oro, which is a non-league game.
How about Darrell Oral getting a couple of wins in a row this year after not winning a game at all? That was one of the highlights of the year for me. I love seeing the young programs build some confidence.
Yeah.
All right, huge 4th down for the Blades. Trips bunch set. Oh, and they go with the pitch, and they got action, and that's going to be close to a 1st down, depending on the spot, and that's right at the sticks, Coach.
Jacob Barboa.
Oh, it looks short now. Let's see. Oh, wow. So he goes out of bounds, and that's going to be a stop by the Spartans. Wow, it looked like he had action if he had just put his foot in the ground and get upfield. He ran out of bounds thinking he had it already, Coach.
Very close. Very close. It's hard to tell from over here, but good play, good call, great execution.
And I think that's the situation. And you were our running backs coach as well when I played in high school.
Yeah.
I know you taught our running backs to finish the run.
Yeah.
That seemed like a situation there where the running back is running out of bounds. Like he already had it when he needed to put his shoulder down and try to run through somebody to get that first down on a fourth down, and he didn't do that. Turnover on downs. Wow. When he watches that on film, he's going to be regretting that for a long time. Nonetheless, 1 yard gain for the Spartans. Oh, almost got it again. Almost said the R word again.
And we've got Burrell back in there for the Spartans.
So, Coach, we've been talking about Spartans and Rebels. We had one of the greatest Rebels of all time, Hall of Famer Tina Watkins, track star. She was also a track star, Hall of Famer for the Bakersfield Renegades, come up and take a selfie with me. That's my sister right there.
Let me tell you something. They another name they mentioned, Constance Ward.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about her in a minute. Quarterback power, gained about 3. Got about 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Talk about Constance Ward. She was 4-time Valley champ, 100-yard.
Wow. 4 times?
4 times.
Wow. You're talking about superstar.
It's only been done, I think, one other time, but that was in the 400 by Janice Nichols.
The Driller Hall of Famer that's being inducted on the 26th and helped me get my state championship ring my sophomore year. Yes, I do have one of those too, Drillers. All right, so the ball is gone. Brother to brother, and it's caught. How about the catch with the hands, Coach?
How about the throw? On the run. Almost threw it across his body there.
Boy, I'm telling you. Coach.
He's got to have 200 yards throwing tonight. Easy.
And it's not even a yard, it's just a touch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his future looks like and where he's going. You know,
I think he's a senior.
He's a senior. Got that 12 by his name. I would definitely love to see this kid in some red and white in Palace of Panorama in a couple years. If he ain't leaving town, stay up here and throw that thing around. And he can run it, too. He's going around the corner. He got blocking, and that's an amazing block on the outside. Quarterback power for 9 yards.
Israel Fuentes leading that, number 15 for the Spartans.
Amazing blocking, Coach. That's an amazing weapon to go to.
Of the quarterbacks I've seen this year, and I haven't seen all of them, but so far, Insignias is the best I've seen.
He's definitely in that conversation, how he's running the football and throwing the football. I don't know if I've seen a quarterback throw it as well as him. They go right back to the ground. Oh. Talk about finishing a run.
You can always tell the character of a team, because especially now, these last 2 drives, South High's been inside the red zone, and it seems that's when East High kind of toughens up. If you notice that, they're not going to give it to you.
Yeah, and that's the pride factor that we talked about. Sometimes we get focused on the scoreboard and we think guys giving up. You never see an East High team give up. I've always watched them play tough. They've lost some tough ones, of course, but they're not going to give up on you. 3rd and 10. Or no, 1st and goal, actually, on the field. They got 3rd and 10 on the board, but it's a shotgun double set. 1st and goal.
Single coverage on Hazley. Nope, they're going to go with Burrell.
Burrell up the middle.
And with the numbers that Burrell has had, he hasn't been used as much.
Well, they've got Para, they've got Burrell. They've got, a host of running backs that they could use, but almost seems like they're rotating those two by quarter.
Coming to a conclusion very shortly.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's a recipe for success for them too, Coach. Because if you add all those numbers up, they have 1,000-yard rusher from their numbers.
Yeah.
Through six games, that's pretty impressive. Shotgun spread set. Right back to the ground. And great job by that defense.
Who is it?
Santiago. Looks like, no, that's four. Number 4. Chacon. Chacon is balling tonight. Wow. Chacon is playing lights out. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. We'll take a break and be back with more Kern High Network football right after this.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities.
All right, we are back. South High looking to threaten the score. Third and goal. What says third and goal on the field. Trips open set. Blades coming with some pressure inside. Cetus rolls left, and he's going to keep it. And he's going, and nobody's going to stop him. Touchdown, Spartans. This kid can ball, Coach.
Yeah. Yeah, he can play. All his receivers were covered. He did the right thing. Tucked it, took off. You know, we were talking about a quarterback for the Saints right now from Fresno State, Jake Hayner.
Jake Hayner.
And he reminds me a lot like Jake Hayner.
You know? Nice. Nice comparison. Great decision maker.
Talking about some of the greatest combos in South High Spartan history. Finally, Corwin Anthony.
Yes.
Mark McGill.
Whoa.
Class of 85. They both went to UCLA as true freshmen.
Kick is up. Kick is good, but Coach getting back to that history. And one thing about a lopsided game, we get to pull out our history book. And who better to pull out the history books with than the author himself? You know, I mean, so you said Corwin Anthony and McGill. Another weapon that I remember from my junior year, Michael Watkins, the older brother of Tina Watkins, was a fantastic receiver, 92, 93 for South High. He was also an amazing point guard.
Well, you remember that 95 team they had Hin Thatch.
Oh, yeah. Wenzel Lynn.
Rodney Wright.
Right. Oh, my goodness.
Craig Thresher at quarterback.
Woo.
Aaron Graham at linebacker.
Man, that was one of the funnest Rebels teams to watch.
It was, even though they didn't win it all. Next year, they weren't so good because they got some players in that transfer portal.
Right. You know, I reflect to one of my favorite Renegade teammates that I played with, Ty Thatch, one of the most explosive and elusive receivers in that period in the 90s, too. He was an athlete, too. Shout out to Ty Thatch.
Yeah, when you said Wenzel Lynn, I forgot all about him.
What? Wenzel was a monster. They ran that slot. He would run that H-back with that slot action. They were weapons. Uh-oh! Shoestring tackle by number 10. saves the touchdown. Great job by Julius Robles, because if not,
Artemio Torres
Whoa.
almost took that to the house.
and that was the first one they didn't blow it dead when
That's
they
right.
caught it.
That's right.
They've been blowing those dead. They could have ran like 3 of those already. So, wow, great job by the special teams of the Spartans getting that stop. Let's see if the Eastside Blades offense can have some of that pride that the defense has had. 1st and 10.
First down in midfield.
Lenore, that's a load. I'm going to tell you who Lenore reminds me of after that 9-yard carry. He reminds me of Jelly Roll Tolbert from the Panthers when they had Cam Newton and Jelly Roll and McCaffrey. Lenore is a beast. 2nd and short.
Lenore again.
That's going to be a carry for a 1st down on the power to the right-hand side.
1st and 10 Blades. Back line number 75.
Those Spartans are starting to get up a little slower. You notice that after
Man,
you get a dose of, and Lenore comes out of the game.
that's a big kid. I wish I had some height and weights on those guys. I'm going to need that later on in the week. I'm going to have to call Renegade Rob Chavez and tell him to send me some logistics on that kid, man. That dude looking like a young Jerome Bettis, man. Shout out to the bus. It's one of my favorite people in the world, Jerome Bettis. Got a Jerome Bettis story for you after this 1st and 10 play. Trips bunch set, and they go toss sweep. Oh, Barbo. Spins out. Great pursuit by the Spartans, and that's a nice effort. That's going to be a huge 15-yard loss. No, maybe about 11-yard loss.
That was Marvin Parra on the tackle.
Wow. So, Coach, we got a little time. It's 31-7 lead with the Spartans. Got to tell you my favorite Jerome Bettis story. Jerome Bettis, teammate of my childhood buddy Joey Porter, would go to a birthday party in Hollywood, and everybody's just running past you. You're in a room full of everybody's famous, and I'm one of the last guys at the door. And guess who's out there waiting with me? Jerome Bettis at his own party, because he said, I ain't going in until Ken get in, and all y'all got to wait. That's my favorite Jerome Bettis story, him waiting with me to get in his own party. Blade's got a man. Oh. Yeah, you know, I reflect on that moment because it shows you the character of people in power positions. Here he is at his own party. Shaq was there, all these people there. You got all these cars all over the place. I pull up late because I'm broadcasting the game, and I get there late. Who's waiting at the door? Jerome Bettis. Joey inside already. I got the man himself waiting at the door for me. Shout out to Big Bussy, one of the best big boy running backs of all time. All right, so 3rd and 20 for the Blades. It's getting cold out here, and I ain't talking about the weather. I'm talking about this offense. If they're not able to get something done, trips open set. That's, and right through the hands
of Dominic Heckert.
Oh, and it's been a while since Heckert has had an opportunity, and that can happen with a receiver, because that was probably the best pass all night from Delgado.
Well, he threw that second quarter dig route for a touchdown, but that ball should have been caught.
That was a nice throw. That was a throw that shows you the potential that he has if he's in the right situations too, because he stepped up through the pocket and delivered that right through the linebacker under the corner. Got to have those.
This may be an adventure right here.
High snap, and you said it, Coach. Oh, and you don't want to fall on that if you're the punter, and he's regretting it. Oh, and it looks like he's going to be hurt, too. So, young punters, the reason why we're talking about that play is because that's exactly what happened in the game last night. And Jack Smith won it for the Drillers by not falling on the football. It was a 20-yard over his head snap. He retreats back, runs back, scoops it, turns it around, and boots it 48 yards the other way. The drillers end up stopping Centennial on their 30 instead of which would have been the opposite 30 because the punter made the great decision. And get this, another one of your former players, Coach Matt Ornalis, who's coaching kickers, made it a point to tell them, hey, we're playing with a backup long snapper tonight. If he snaps one over your head high, don't fall on it. You got to pick it up and turn and kick it. It ends up happening, and it was the biggest play of the game for the drillers last night, other than the two-point conversion touchdown score from Bryson Abbott.
Well, we talked about they've had problems with their punt game all year long, East High. That's why I said it was going to be an adventure. And when you line a 52 back there as your punter and put him at 10 yards, and you know, it's one of those things that's, come on, you've had 5 weeks to fix this, and you're doing the same things that you were doing in week 1.
All right, so kudos to Big 52, Luis Salas, as he gets up. And, Coach, that brings up a great point that I've talked about every week that you're going to love. I talked about how hard it is to be a kicker, holder, or long snapper.
Yeah.
Because remember us in practice, we all would try it. When, before practice, we messing around.
Yeah.
Everybody want to try to kick a field goal or try to long snap or try to hold. Those are 3 of the hardest jobs on the field in many instances, and it's taken for granted in situations when you don't have a guy that can do it well.
Yeah, that's true. And when you do have a guy that can do it well, it's such a weapon.
Yes, it is.
Because that's a third of the game is special teams. 1 out of every 6 plays in a football game is a special team.
Right, and that's why long snappers get paid the big bucks, too, in the league.
Oh, we got a hold. We got a clean jersey there, number 5, Anthony.
Oh, we got a late dead ball.
Anthony English with his first carry.
Ooh, wow. And that name, Anthony English, just gave me goosebumps because rest in peace to my big bro, Anthony English from Clifton Street, son of Brother Carol English. I wonder if that's a relative. Has to be. Wow, that gave me goosebumps.
You've got the Encinas brothers standing out there.
That's a nice picture for Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Looks like they're posing for a picture.
Right, I might as well get one since they're standing there. Let me go ahead and zoom in and get one. There you go. That's a nice one right there. All right, that's going on the post game. And that's going to be a dead ball and sportsmanlike against the Blades. Seems like they're losing their cool after being in a tough contest, and now the score is getting a little lopsided.
Well, when their punter, Luis Celis, who's also one of their two-way players, one of their best linemen.
The ball placed at the 13-yard line of the Blades. South.
All right, so 1st and 10. Spartans go right back to the ground, and great job by the defensive line of the Blades. Regardless of the score, I'm impressed by how they've continued to play. They're playing with heart every snap. You know, it's just undermanned against a better South High football team with more athletes.
Well, you talked about it earlier in the first, take away the big plays. We had a fade here, long play here to Encinas, the receiver.
Yep.
Long run by Burrell.
Yep.
Other than that, they haven't been pounding it over East High.
And you know what that reminds me of, Coach? I just hopped in the time machine. It reminds me of you telling us, if we don't give up a play over 20 yards, we win every football game. You used to tell us that all the time. If you don't give up a pass over 20 yards, we win. And we did that a lot. Jet sweep. Great patience by Hazley, still on his feet. He's going to be tackled at the 8. Oh, no, that's actually for Jones.
Antoine Jones. Yeah. The other thing we used to tell you guys, we need to pick off 1 out of every 7 passes thrown.
Yes.
3rd down and 5.
And we had the appetite for that because we knew once we get up on a team there, have no choice but to put it in the air, and here come our opportunities.
Yeah.
My favorite game under your tutelage, my junior year against West High, Mark Moore, Sean Lane in the backfield, Kyle Ursary playing quarterback. We're in a dogfight, and I get 3 interceptions to tie your single game record. That's probably one of my favorite driller memories. Shotgun spread set. And that's going to be either delay of game or false start.
Procedure.
Against the Spartans. 3rd down and 10.
So again,
Coach Mills is not going to be happy. As well as this game is going for him, 31-7, he's not going to be real happy with all the penalties. They're close to 15 penalties tonight.
Coach, I took a deep breath, and you took the words right out of my mouth.
English.
Huge hit as English gets the carry, because that was the point I was going to say, Coach. And you could tell you raised me right. Because no matter what the score looks like for us, we still need to play clean. It doesn't make you feel good having a lead and having penalties and sloppy football.
Yeah, especially if this could be a team of destiny for South High at 5-1. Looks like they're going to go 6-1. Good chance that they're going to go far in the playoffs. You play a team that's as talented as you. It's going to come down who's more disciplined. And penalties will tell you.
26-yard field goal.
That's an easy gauge to tell you where you're at.
Absolutely. I think and coach like you guys taught me how to play. And you absolutely right. Kick is up.
Nice snap.
And kick is good. So that makes it 34-7 with 5:41 to play on Kern High Network. We'll take a break and be back right after this. We are back on Kern High Network Football. Kenny Calvin, Rick Van Horn, Dr. Julian Wilson. You know, the Spartans have been as good as advertised, but one of the things we talked about prior to the break is how when you're a good team and you're trying to seek greatness as the ball goes into the end zone, you want to finish games as clean as you've won them. Right, Coach?
As the score dictates, yeah. So at 34-7, fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. On paper, it looks like, hey, you dominated the game. Well, there was a phase that you didn't.
Right.
And that's a penalty game. And, again, you that's a good good measurement of, you're lacking some discipline out there. And that's not – Coach Mills, that's definitely not going to go over well with him.
Right. Yeah, and it's what makes greatness. You have a lot of good football teams. 5-1 is good. You're seeking greatness when you're talking about going to the postseason play, and you want to be getting better every game and every snap.
Yeah, because you look at their one loss, an 18-6 loss to Independence, who didn't call that game, but it could have came down to that hidden yardage there.
Right.
You 15 penalties times that's almost
10 to 15 sometimes.
5, 10, 15 yards. That's almost 100 yards of free yardage you've given East High.
Right. And they had some. East High had some opportunities early to make this a game.
Santiago.
You know, and one thing I like to see, it's a 34-7 lead, but you still see the energy level of the sideline of the Blaze. Look at the sideline. Everybody's up. Nobody's sitting down dejected. They're still cheering on their teammates. That's good coaching over there, because you're teaching guys not to give up on themselves and to continue to fight until the end. And I'm loving seeing that. It's so easy to give up on yourselves when you're in a lopsided game. I wasn't on a lot of them in high school and college locally, but when I got to Arkansas, I had a couple of games where, you know, offense doesn't do great and you're looking at a 30-15 game or something. Sideline looking like somebody just died or something. End around to Barbosa. He's had a good game. Makes one miss, and nice run.
17.
Out to the 47-yard line. Barbosa played very well tonight as well.
He's been all over. He hadn't come off the field very much, both offense and defensively and special teams. He's made plays on both sides of the ball. You know, which we're getting down to that point now. 3:38 left in this game. And you know what we're going to talk about, player of the game.
Yeah, player of the game. I think it's definitely a two-man race.
Two-man race.
You know,
You're thinking what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Coach. So, you know, I got to defer to you because you taught me what I know. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to narrow it down.
What, they both, and we're talking about Jirel Hazley, 3 touchdowns, and of course Josh Encinas, who's orchestrated those touchdowns for him. So. And we don't have stats. I wish we had stats because Encinas.
Yeah, his completion percentage is out of control.
For 20, yeah.
Right.
For at least 200 yards.
Yeah, some amazing throws.
There's a nice throw. He's got him.
That almost caught by one hand. Great effort, but it's going to be incomplete.
That was Pinto. Jacob Pinto intended for.
Very interesting. Still going back to the player of the game conversation because Encinas has done it with his feet and his arm.
That's true.
And you know you got Hazley finishing the plays.
Yeah.
You know he's caught 2 amazing passes, but he's also ran one in.
Yeah.
You know, so this is a tough one. 3rd and 6, 2:41 to play on Kern High Network. It's been a nice one, beautiful night. The South High faithful.
Oh, who was that hit by number 60 for South High, which is Carlos De La Cruz.
Nice.
A sophomore. We're seeing some clean jerseys in there now. For South High.
I wonder if De La Cruz is related to our Renegade De La Cruz, who's been up there wrecking shop in the trenches. You know, speaking of Renegades, you know, we haven't talked much about Hall of Fame. That's coming up next week on Wednesday at Luigi's. Going to be a beautiful night. Hope you guys can make it. If you don't make it, your names will still be heard. I've been writing my speech every day. It's the hardest speech I ever had to write. And for a writer, it's definitely not very hard for me to put words on paper, but trying to celebrate myself isn't something I do well.
Oh, Barboa.
Wow.
Man, oh, man.
Still on his feet. Wow. Talk about some tough running and not giving up, Barbosa. Wow. Yeah, Barboa. I've been saying Barbosa. Barboa, this kid is tough.
And they've got him listed. He's only a sophomore.
Wow.
Coach Carrasco is going to, if he's a sophomore, he's going to be excited the next 2 years.
Yeah, you got some toughness and some fighters. But now you got some movement.
Oh, it's going to be on South High.
Wow. So it stops the play. Was it encroachment?
Offside.
Oh, yeah.
Minute 16 left, 34-7 South High.
not run or
they will
jog
move
on
to
the field.
6-1.
We are not a coach or a player.
They have Miramonte next week. East High will drop to 1-6. They travel to a North High, which will be a very good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a couple good ones next week. We're starting to get to that meat of the season where we find out what happens in postseason play.
Oh, he's got a man. Oh, Delgado decides to run.
Oh, he takes a huge hit at the end of that one.
On the far side. Nick Jones.
So with 30 seconds left to play, Coach, how you want to play it? We got Dr. J. You got T-shirts
he
in
may
there.
have to.
You want to break the tie? QB or the receiver? Who are we going with? It's too close for us to call. Yeah, I mean we need a third odd man.
vote.
We need an odd vote. So Dr. J don't want to vote.
Oh,
He don't want y'all jamming him up at the Valley Plaza Mall because you didn't get your T-shirt on this weekend. But Coach, I mean, seeing us throw the football was very impressive. I gotta say the way that Jyrell Hazley made those catches at the top of the route, he had some highlight Randy Moss-like catches that I think give him the edge from an individual perspective.
And our resident doctor here just chimed in with one.
Jyrell Hazley.
That's our guy.
He's going to be our current high net worth
It
player
was
of the
close.
game. It was
It
close.
was-
That
it
might
was
be the
close.
closest I've seen.
Yeah.
But Coach, as we have 28 seconds left, they drop back to pass, and they take a shot. He has a man. Oh! And it's incomplete. That gives me an opportunity to say what I want to say. Coach, I'm going into the Hall of Fame on Wednesday with another great list of legends. But none of this would be possible without you, man. You believed in me. I shared the story of when you told me about my first time getting to start a game, and I never looked back. You gave me the confidence to believe in myself, and, it's just an honor to never let you down.
Well, it was my pleasure. You don't coach guys like Kenny Calvin very often, and I tell you what, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely grateful. I wouldn't be the man I am without you, and definitely wanted to make sure I share that with you before we get off the
I
air.
appreciate it.
Oh, but we got the Blaze. They said they ain't giving up. One man to beat. These guys to get in. Nearly fumbled out of bounds. It's going to be first and goal by the Blaze. He tried to spin. Great job by the South High defenders not giving up on the play.
Jacob Pinto, number
Wow.
7.
Pinto's had a great game, too, himself.
Yeah. Along with Chacon, number 4, on that defensive side of the ball for the Blades.
Know what this kind of game reminds me of? I remember when we played East 2 years in a row. I think we scored like 100 on them to like 10, right? But you had this guy named Rick Sanchez. He blasted me so hard on a play of the week, and that's a touchdown, Blades, for pride perspective. As this one goes down to 6 seconds, the Blades don't give up, and that's exactly the kind of story I'm telling. Because Rick Sanchez, who was one of my teammates for the Compton Oilers, we were up like 40-7, and I'm running down on kickoff, smiling, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bow! Rick Sanchez blindsides me from the back. He gets up screaming like he just won the game. But that's the mentality that kids from East High have. You're going to have to keep playing me until the clock strikes zeros, bro.
Yeah. And that's what it is. 6 seconds left. That was a catch by Dominic Heckert from Levi Delgado.
So the Blades continue to fight. Kick is up. Kick is good. And that makes it look a little more respectable with 34-14. But that play was a microcosm of what we were saying. You take these blades lightly because you got a lead. You're going to end up on Hometown Sports Hit of the Week. That's the only bad time I was on Hometown Sports getting blasted by Rick Sanchez. Shout out to Rick. But, hey, these Spartans came out to play. They've had a good year, and they're going to wind it out. Our player of the game, Jyrell Hazley.
That's right.
You know, Coach, it's been an honor. You know, so for all our listeners in the land of Kern High Network, you know, shout out to our boss, Stan Green, everybody at the office in the Kern High School, superintendents, the staff of South High, Principal Brian Menderow, AP of Instruction Josh Porter, AP of Administration Tori Nettleton, Athletics Director Dante Borodori, Activities Director Cecilia Polito, my man, Community Specialist Trey Johnson that I was with at the Connection Project yesterday at North High. Congratulations, South High, and happy homecoming. We'll see you guys next time.